A couple of topics to discuss in this video. The Devon versus Kurdecha left arm match. But before that, let's talk about Michael Todd's new pronation lift PR, or a world record as he likes to call it. I don't think you can really call something a world record unless there are some strict rules attached to it, because as of now, there seems to be no rules attached to Michael's lift. He can complete the lift however he wants, however he can. So now he's up to 95.8 kilos. That's a serious number. Despite the poor form that Michael has been showing since the day he crossed 80 kilos on this lift, many arm wrestlers, especially the ones who have themselves tried this lift, have praised Michael a lot. And this is actually the first time I've seen someone's pronation fail and yet they completed the lift somehow. Biomechanically, it seems almost impossible, because if your pronation has given up and you're turned palm up, then you essentially have to bicep curl that amount of weight, and nobody can single arm bicep curl 96 kilos. So how is Michael doing that? Well, probably because he's at the end range of his motion. That's why it's essentially a palm up and underhand single arm deadlift and not a pronation lift. I know that Michael is going to claim that it was nowhere near his end range of motion, but I really doubt that. Without that, it's impossible to lift that weight. Nobody can do that. Well, someone can do it if their pronation doesn't fail, but while being turned almost palm up, you simply cannot do it unless you are deadlifting that weight. And also, due to the lack of range of motion, this is the end range of Michael's hand too. His hand cannot be turned any more palm up. So maybe that's why this lift was possible. So maybe Michael is right when he's saying that it's not a deadlift. But since his pronation is already blocked at that point, that's why the weight is still going up. Now you may be thinking that I've always kind of praised this lift from Michael. I've always supported it. You may have seen it in many videos. So why am I so critical of it now? Well, it's because Michael needs to stop doing that. Long gone are the days when Michael stopped someone and he was almost certain of winning a super match. These days, it's kind of opposite of that, man. Because if someone is strong enough now to take Michael almost close to the losing pad to completely open up his arm like it is opened up in this lift, then he's almost certainly going to defeat Michael. Hermes Gasparini, then we saw Vitaly Laletin. You may say that the Kamil Jablonski match was an exception, and I would agree to that. Michael was close to losing that match too, at least in terms of the distance between his hand and the pin pad, and yet Kamil was not able to do that. But you cannot quote the Gennady Kvikwinia match. That was the weakest possible version of Gennady. It was his first comeback match after the bicep surgery, and yet he beat Michael in a couple of rounds. Then he got destroyed by Devon. Then he got destroyed by Ibrahim Sagov. So yes, while you can show me side-by-side comparison pictures of Michael doing this lift and him actually arm wrestling on the arm wrestling table, and both of them would look exactly the same, yet I'm going to say that this would have worked for Michael when he actually won some super matches after stopping them. Those days are gone now. So I would say that Michael needs to stop doing that, and he needs to do some actual arm wrestling exercises where his arm isn't completely opened up, where his arm isn't in a position from where he's almost certain to lose a super match. Devon was shocked that David Dadikyan completely destroyed Alex Kurdecha. He has mentioned that a couple of times. He cannot fathom how can someone possibly hook Alex so easily. He has practiced with Alex many times, and Alex has been destroying him on the arm wrestling table. That's why he couldn't understand how Dadikyan did that. Alex said in the first round in the hook, he felt kind of okay, but then Dadikyan elbow fouled and he came back stronger. After that, he had no answer for Dadikyan's power and his explosivity. And speaking of Dadikyan, recently we saw some really strict measurements, the kind of measurements that arm wrestlers don't usually do. Dadikyan's wrist was 20 centimeters, forearm 46 and bicep 46.5. It's surprising how Dadikyan's biceps are only 18 inches. So in one of the recent interviews, Devon and Alex both agreed to start a match in a hook. I've seen many of these agreements and yet none of them followed through. I Are they just having fun, or are these conversations ever serious and ever strict? I think it's about time when we fans hold these arm wrestlers accountable for what they have promised to each other and to all of us before a super match. They should start in a hook. I don't see Devon having any chances against Alex in a hook, but I would like to see that match. Alex said that there are no doubts that he is in the best shape that he has ever been. He himself feels that, and everyone else that he trains with also feel the same. The best shape, the strongest, and also the fastest. Devon, on the other hand, is still not lifting weights in the gym. He feels confident enough to defeat Alex without that kind of training. I have a feeling this might be a really good form of me. I expect to give Alex a great fight. He is very, very good, and if I beat him, it will be very meaningful to me. Thanks for watching, like the video, and I'll see you again.